If you watched television back in the 1970s, you probably remember holiday episodes as warm, comforting traditions that brought families together. But one groundbreaking Christmas episode of All in the Family completely shattered that mold, leaving millions of American viewers heartbroken. Nearly 50 long years later, classic television fans and historians still consider this to be one of Edith's most devastatingly emotional moments. When this iconic episode first aired in December 1977, network television was undergoing a massive, unpredictable cultural shift. I've personally watched this episode many times over the years, and its raw emotional weight feels even more powerful and relevant to me today. Back in 1977, families gathered around a single bulky television set. There was no instant streaming, no smartphones, and no social media. Later in this video, we will look closely at the exact moment Archie did something completely unexpected that few fans ever saw coming. What matters in this narrative isn't just that Mike was brutally attacked, but rather the quiet, lingering psychological damage left behind. The legendary Jean Stapleton delivered this tragic scene with remarkable restraint, capturing a heavy, deeply painful slowness in her movements. In my professional view, her profound, heavy silence on screen is far more powerful than any dramatic, tearful outburst could ever hope to be. I'd truly love to hear your personal memories of watching this shocking, unprecedented shift in Edith's gentle character for the very first time. This controversial plot hit a raw public nerve because neighborhood streets in the late 70s felt increasingly dangerous and unstable. Contemporary critics heavily praised the show for its bravery, with TV Guide calling it a triumphant, honest milestone for network television. All in the Family established its legacy by always being willing to address painful, dark realities that other standard sitcoms actively avoided. In the late 1970s, traditional religious faith across America was quietly facing a complex, painful generational and social struggle. What strikes me most today is the brilliant artistic contrast of how the bright, cheerful Christmas lights push Edith into total, dark isolation. During this uncomfortably tense holiday gift exchange, the show completely strips away the usual laugh track to give us something hauntingly real. Looking back at the golden age of broadcasting, was this the single saddest, most authentic holiday moment in the entire history of classic television? Carol O'Connor made a brilliant, nuanced acting choice in this scene by keeping the usually loud, aggressive Archie uncharacteristically quiet. One compelling interpretation is that Archie is deeply terrified because the moral and emotional anchor of his entire life is slipping away. I warmly invite you to pull up a comfortable chair in our vintage living room as we continue to remember these uncompromising television masterpieces. Notice how the family gently crowds into Edith's personal space, offering their quiet physical presence instead of empty logical arguments. Many longtime viewers still vividly remember the heavy, suffocating silence that filled American living rooms when Edith flatly refused to pray. This incredibly raw, vulnerable performance justly earned Jean Stapleton an Emmy Award, proving how deeply her art resonated with the public. I believe the brilliant writers fully intended to demonstrate that when love and faith dry up, the foundation of the home ceases to function. In a chaotic, rapidly changing modern world, Edith's pure, unwavering faith was the only absolute certainty Archie had left to rely upon. The emotional tension reaches its absolute peak when Edith rejects prayer, her voice carrying a flat, chillingly unfamiliar coldness. Sally Struthers captures Gloria's profound shock with perfect dramatic precision, using just a single, subtle, involuntary blink of her eyes. In my definitive view, this masterpiece provides a deeply honest look at a heavy, realistic grief that countless ordinary families understood. What truly matters here isn't the fact that Archie is defeated. It is his beautiful, unprecedented refusal to yell at his suffering wife. Now we see the emotional narrative loop finally close. Archie returns to her side, and his silent, loving support brings her back to the light. Even modern television scholars frequently note that this single powerful scene forever changed the structural rules of what a sitcom could achieve. One beautiful interpretation is that Edith ultimately finds her faith again simply because her family chose to love her unconditionally in her darkness. If you still deeply miss the incredible, irreplaceable talents of Jean and Carol, please share your favorite classic moments with us below. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, this is Marcus, proudly keeping the rich history of classic storytelling alive.